Today, I want to talk about narcissistic mothers and how they treat their children. I'm going to talk specifically about how they treat their daughters because I've witnessed this in my life on several occasions. You see, narcissistic mothers have a pathological envy for their children, especially their daughters. They consider them a threat, so they devalue them. They criticize them, they sabotage them, and they don't allow them to do well in life because narcissistic mothers have very fragile egos. They are princesses to the extreme. Life has to be all about them. There is no room for anyone else. Now, things get really bad when the daughter realizes that their mother is a narcissist. And they realize that their own mother has this intense jealousy and envy of them. Because this becomes very confusing because this isn't how a mother is supposed to feel. A parent is supposed to want the best for you, but a narcissist doesn't. A narcissist always wants what's best for them. A narcissistic mother will envy her daughter's boyfriends, envy her daughter's husbands, envy her daughter's success, envy her daughter's house that she lives in if the house is better than the mother's. And this will leave the daughter feeling often unworthy and unloved because mothers aren't supposed to act this way. This continuing sabotage by a narcissistic mother leaves terrible psychic scars on the daughter that often ends up with her not being able to have fulfilling relationships. And so the daughter will end up usually with a narcissistic partner and repeat the cycle of trauma bonding over and over again until she realizes her own self worth and is able to break free. A narcissistic mother doesn't want her daughter to have healthy relationships or to rise in this world. She wants her to be miserable just like she is. Because why should anyone be happy if I'm not happy? That is the prevailing thought of a narcissist. The world must be the way I see it. And the way that a narcissist sees the world is always dark. Their world is a world of envy and darkness. And if you're not careful, they will pull you into those shadows and suffocate you. A narcissistic mother can be even worse because sometimes they want you to be a golden child and they'll take the daughter, and if the daughter's pretty, they'll invest in making her prettier. They will weight shame them, body shame them. They will force them to become these stereotypical beauties. And then the mother will stand back and say, look how beautiful my daughter is. But woe to the child that doesn't live up to these standards, because if you don't, the mother will be ashamed of you. Even though she's jealous of your youth and your beauty, she'll be ashamed that you're not the golden doll that society wants you to be, and she will punish you for it. And there's no use even confronting these narcissistic parents because they'll just gaslight you. Gaslighting is a huge part of what narcissists do. It's the main weapon they have in their arsenal. They'll just tell you you're being crazy, or they don't know what you're talking about, or you're remembering it wrong. I never said that. That never happened. Those are all phrases and words that you'll get from a narcissist over and over again. I mean, you and the narcissist could be the only two people in a room, and the narcissist turn and say something to you. And then an hour later, the narcissist will completely deny that they said anything. And they'll be so sincere about it that you'll even start to question if you're hearing things. But that's what they want to do. Narcissists want to drive you crazy. They want to break you to their will so that they can pull you into their warped reality. And having a parent that does this is so disabling. It's so harmful. And then the whiplash comes when all of a sudden they're nice to you. See, the narcissistic mother will suddenly switch it up sometimes and treat their daughters like they are the greatest thing they've ever accomplished. I'm so proud of you. You're my little girl. And then the daughter will begin to think, well, maybe things will be all right. And the next day, the narcissistic parent will be right back playing mind games again. The devastating thing about having a narcissistic parent, whether it be a mother or a father, is the realization that they're never going to change. They're never going to love you the way you want to be loved. They're never going to be there the way you need them to be there. And they're never going to stop being envious of you. And in fact, it'll get worse when you realize who and what they are and you pull away and start to have your own life and you start to find your own love and have your own accomplishments. They'll probably silence you at this point. They won't even speak to you. They won't call you on your birthdays or see how you're doing. Just on occasion, they might call and say what's going on because they're hoping that something bad's happening to you so that they can pretend to be your parent again, pull you in and start the cycle all over again. The best thing you can do with a narcissistic parent, unfortunately, is the same thing you have to do with all narcissists and avoid them. Go away from them. Do not speak to them. Do not engage. Do not play their mind games. No good will come from it. This is the hardest part of recovery, is understanding that you will never have that relationship that you so desperately crave with your parent. But there's light at the end of this tunnel because once you break free from the hold of a narcissistic parent, you will thrive. With some therapy and some help and some guidance and some deep introspection, you can learn to give yourself the love and encouragement that they never did. And you will go on to have a life that they should envy, that they will envy. You will become light to their darkness. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.